Okay, family, gather close. Let me tell you about something happening right now in Burkina Faso that's so powerful, it's sending shockwaves across the continent and leaving the usual suspects scratching their heads. Remember those whispers? Africa can't build that. They'll always need our imports. Electric vehicles, that's for the rich nations. Well, hold on to your seats because President Ibrahim Traoré and the brilliant minds of Burkina Faso just slammed the door shut on that tired old narrative. They didn't just talk about independence. They built it. Rolled it right off the assembly line 500 times over. That's right, 500. Not 5, not 50. 500 fully electric buses designed in Burkina Faso, engineered by Burkinabè hands, manufactured on Burkinabè soil. This isn't some token project or a few imported buses with a local sticker. This is a full-blown homegrown revolution on wheels. And it's happening right now in Ouagadougou. You heard the background noise, right? The voices in the clip. That urgency, that hope. If it's possible to review the prices, it will be a great relief for us. We haven't seen a vehicle that costs less than 5 million. That's the real heartbeat of this story. It's about ordinary people yearning for solutions that they can afford, built for their realities. For too long, Burkina Faso, like so many of our nations, was stuck in a cycle, reliant on expensive, polluting second-hand imports that drained precious resources and kept us dependent. The dream of clean, modern, affordable transport felt out of reach. They told us it couldn't be done here. Too poor, too unstable, no infrastructure, no expertise. President Traoré looked at those excuses and said, enough. He didn't just dream of electric buses. He ignited a national mission. He understood that true sovereignty isn't just political, it's economic, it's technological. He bet big on his own people. He invested not just money but trust. He created the environment, funding vocational schools, backing local engineers, establishing that buzzing production facility outside Ouagadougou, where Burkinabè talent could thrive. Young welders, coders, electricians, minds that might have once felt forced to leave to find opportunity, are now the backbone of this industry. They're not just assembling parts, they're innovating. These buses aren't clones of foreign models. They're built for Burkina Faso, solar-supported systems to harness our powerful sun. Reinforced for our rugged terrain, designed for low-cost maintenance using locally sourced parts wherever possible. This isn't just transportation. It's African ingenuity solving African problems. Let's talk about the immediate impact, the tangible relief this brings. Forget the abstract green future for a second. Think about that mechanic in the clip. Given the explanations I've had about electric and solar vehicles in terms of savings, we get 4,000 francs a week. Its maintenance is less expensive. You don't need to pay for oil filters, and you don't need to change the oil. 4,000 francs a week saved. That's money staying in pockets, feeding families, sending kids to school. Multiply that across hundreds, soon thousands of vehicles. Then think bigger. Every single one of these 500 buses means thousands of gallons of imported diesel not bought. Millions of CFA francs not shipped out to foreign oil companies, but staying right here. Money that can now flow into building more schools, more clinics, more opportunities. President Traoré didn't just build buses. He built an economic shield against the volatility of global fuel markets. He built breathing room for the national budget. And yes, let's talk about the air. Ouagadougou, like many of our cities, has choked under diesel fumes for too long. These silent, clean-running buses mean healthier lungs for our people, especially our children playing near roads. It means quieter streets. It means Burkina Faso stepping confidently onto the global stage, not just as a participant in the climate conversation, but as a leader implementing real large-scale solutions. While others debate, Burkina Faso is doing. They're showing the Sahel, showing all of Africa that sustainable development isn't a luxury for later. It's a necessity and an achievable strategy right now. This project is also a masterclass in empowering the next generation. This wasn't just about building buses. It was about building builders. President Traoré wired the project directly into the veins of Burkinabè youth. Vocational schools weren't just informed, they were integral. Students in engineering programs got their hands dirty on real-time designs, real repair challenges. Internships weren't photo ops. They were pipelines to full-time skilled careers. Thousands of young people who might have faced unemployment or immigration are now proud engineers, technicians, line supervisors. They went from classrooms to control panels. The clip captured that industry player perfectly. The Burkinabè used to buy second-hand cars because they had no choice. The arrival of new electric cars has come at a good time, and the people of Burkina Faso will understand why they need to buy a new vehicle. This project is creating the demand and building the capacity to meet it, fostering a whole new ecosystem of skills and pride. And the innovation isn't stopping. Those young minds trained on the bus project are now spinning off ideas. Electric mopeds, solar charging networks, AI traffic systems. They've tasted what's possible and they're hungry for more. This is about handing over the keys to the future. Don't underestimate the tech either. These aren't just simple electric carts. They're smart, fitted with GPS, sensors, real-time comms. They're collecting data, optimizing routes on the fly, reducing congestion, making the whole system safer and more efficient. Think about it. Panic buttons, driver distress signals, onboard cameras, crucial features in our context. This data isn't just for the buses. It's feeding into a broader smart city vision for Ouagadougou, a real-time nervous system being built by local tech partners. Traoré isn't just upgrading transport. He's building the digital backbone for a smarter, safer, more responsive city. That's next-level governance. And let's be brutally honest about the narrative. For too long, Burkina Faso's story in the global press has been written by others focused on challenges, conflict, poverty, instability. President Traoré, with this bold fleet, is forcefully rewriting that script. This isn't a country begging for scraps. This is a country engineering its own future. These 500 silent, powerful buses rolling through the streets are the most potent rebrand imaginable. They scream innovation, self-reliance, and visionary leadership. Western pundits who love to preach. Traoré didn't wait for their permission slip. He delivered. Now the world is taking notice. Not out of pity, but out of respect, even curiosity. Investors are looking again. Neighboring countries, Mali, Niger, others are watching closely, asking about the blueprint. That used car dealer nailed it. We are not afraid for our market with the arrival of the vehicle. It will add value to our market. This project elevates the entire economic ecosystem. The mechanic who repairs hybrids sees the shift. Over the last 3 to 4 years, I've repaired 10 hybrid cars. The owners of these vehicles are now interested in electric vehicles. The momentum is real on the ground. So what's next? If you know President Traoré, you know 500 buses is just the opening act. The charging network is expanding. Plans are already drawn for electric minibuses to connect rural areas. Secondary cities are next in line. Local manufacturing hubs for spare parts are rising, ensuring maintenance doesn't create new dependencies. There's serious talk of exporting this knowledge, this technology, licensing the bus model to neighbors. Imagine Burkinabè designed electric buses rolling through Bamako or Niamey. That's not a distant dream. It's a tangible possibility being actively pursued. They're even looking at integrating this electric backbone with rail and river transport. This is about building a complete, sustainable, sovereign national transit system. The most powerful thing about this revolution isn't just the sleek buses or the solar panels. It's the shift in mindset. President Ibrahim Traoré embodies a leadership that looks inward for solutions, that trusts its people, that invests in the long game, not just the next election, but the next 50 years. He's proving that dignity trumps dependency, vision trumps validation. He's shown that with courage, focus, and unwavering belief in African potential, the impossible becomes the everyday. Burkina Faso isn't just catching up to the global EV race. With these 500 homegrown buses, they've pulled ahead on their own terms. They've declared independence from fossil fuel chains and foreign tech monopolies. They've built a rolling testament to what Africa can achieve when we believe in ourselves and back that belief with action. The road ahead is long, sure, but it's now undeniably electric, sustainable, and proudly, powerfully African-made. The old Burkina Faso narrative is fading in the rearview mirror. A new journey powered by Burkinabè genius and will has definitively begun. The voice of Africa is clear. We build, we innovate, we lead. Now let's dive deeper, family. Because what's happening in Burkina Faso isn't just about electric buses. It's about building a new generation of builders. This project wasn't designed to just move people. It was designed to move a nation. President Ibrahim Traoré didn't simply sign a deal or pose for a photo op. He rewired the system, connecting the project directly to the heartbeat of Burkinabè youth. Vocational schools weren't bystanders. They were the engines of this revolution. Engineering students weren't watching from the sidelines. They were inside the labs, designing systems, solving real-world repair challenges, and learning how to make technology serve their people. Internships weren't symbolic. They became pipelines to full-time, high-skill careers. Thousands of young Burkinabè who might have faced unemployment or the harsh choice to migrate now stand as proud engineers, technicians and line supervisors. They went from classrooms to control panels, from job seekers to job creators. One industry expert put it perfectly. The Burkinabè used to buy second-hand cars because they had no choice. Now with these electric vehicles, they finally have a reason to buy new. And that's the heart of it. Choice. This project doesn't just meet demand, it creates it. It's building confidence, pride, and a whole new ecosystem of innovation. The young minds who worked on these buses aren't stopping there. They've tasted what's possible. Now they're moving into electric mopeds, solar charging grids, even AI traffic management systems to reduce congestion. This is more than progress. It's a generational awakening. And don't underestimate the technology itself. These buses aren't simple machines. They're smart, fitted with GPS, real-time sensors, and communication systems that optimize routes, manage congestion, and improve safety. Imagine this: panic buttons, driver distress alerts, onboard cameras, all connected to a live monitoring network. That's not just innovation, that's next-level governance. This isn't about importing smart city concepts from Europe or Asia. Burkina Faso is building its own version, tailored for African cities, efficient, secure, and sustainable. The data gathered from these buses feeds into a wider digital backbone being developed by local tech partners, a nervous system for Ouagadougou that will one day connect transport, energy, and security systems together. Think about what that means. A country once dismissed as too underdeveloped is now writing the blueprint for modern African urban management. But let's talk about something deeper, the story that's being rewritten here. For decades, the global media painted Burkina Faso as a land of struggle, instability, poverty, conflict. But now, President Traoré and his people are flipping that script in real time. These 500 silent, sleek, homegrown electric buses rolling through the streets are more than vehicles. They're statements. They declare, we don't need pity. We need partnership. We don't wait for permission. We build. Western pundits love to lecture Africa about development. But while they talk, Burkina Faso delivers, and the world is watching. Not with pity this time, but with respect. Investors are asking questions. Neighboring nations, Mali, Niger, Togo, are sending delegations, eager to study the model. Even local business owners are feeling the momentum shift. A used car dealer said, "We're not afraid of the new vehicles. They'll add value to our market." That's the power of progress done right. It doesn't destroy what exists. It uplifts the whole ecosystem. Mechanics are retraining, adapting, expanding their skills to handle hybrids and electric drivetrains. One said it best, "Over the last 3 years, I've repaired 10 hybrid cars. Now the owners are asking for electric ones." That's transformation. Not from the top down, but from the ground up. So what's next? If you know President Traoré, you know 500 buses is just the beginning. The charging network is already expanding. Plans for electric minibuses to serve rural areas are on the table. Secondary cities are preparing their own production hubs for spare parts, ensuring that maintenance never becomes another foreign dependency. And yes, there's already talk of exporting this technology. Imagine it, Burkinabè-designed electric buses rolling through Bamako, Niamey, Lomé. That's not wishful thinking. That's an active plan. They're even exploring ways to integrate this electric transport backbone with rail and river systems, building a complete, sovereign, sustainable transit network for the entire nation. But the true revolution isn't metal or wires, it's mindset. For decades, Africa was told what it couldn't do. Now, leaders like Ibrahim Traoré are proving what happens when a nation believes in its own potential. He's building not just infrastructure, but confidence, the kind that outlasts any bus or factory. He's proving that dignity beats dependency, that vision beats validation, that faith in one's own people is the strongest form of development there is. Burkina Faso isn't catching up to the world anymore, it's setting the pace. With these 500 homegrown buses, they've declared independence from fossil fuels, from foreign monopolies, and from old mindsets. They've built a moving symbol of what Africa can achieve when it decides to believe. Build and lead. The road ahead will have challenges, but it's now undeniably electric, sustainable and proudly African-made. The old story of Burkina Faso is fading fast in the rearview mirror. Ahead lies a new journey, one powered by Burkinabè genius. fueled by Burkinabè will and guided by a leadership that dares to dream beyond limits. The voice of Africa is rising, clear, confident, unstoppable. We build, we innovate, we lead.